So I deactivated Instagram. How you going? How you going? Let me just find something here. Yeah. How you going, everyone? So I deactivated Instagram almost a month ago now, and originally I had planned to deactivate Instagram for 2 weeks. First got the idea from Chazzy, my mate at work, who said he's deactivating it. That planted the seed. And then I just found myself, just getting frustrated with the way that I was um, being used by technology. And it's something I talk about very often, limiting distractions, becoming aware of what's happening inside of you, and just observing yourself from a third perspective, third person point of view, as if like you're in a movie and you're observing yourself. And the more that you become aware of yourself, you realize what are certain things that take you away, take your attention away. And what we are is attention. So if you're constantly having that open space, allowing inputs to come in through all different avenues, information coming in through messages, like group messages, through searching, scrolling on Instagram, TikTok, through watching the news on TV, through having the radio on in your car, through certain conversations where people are just, gossiping and talking about other people behind their backs. Like you're not filtering in the information, and you're becoming susceptible to all these different points of contact, and it's programming you. And if you're not aware of that, then that's going to be your life experience, and it's getting back control of yourself. So for me, what I needed to do is I really needed to step away, and that's what I did. I stepped away from Instagram, and I had some incredible experiences. I will be getting back on Instagram, on next Monday, which is my birthday, the 4th of March. So that's when I'll be reintroducing myself to Instagram. It wasn't just Instagram that I deleted. I deleted all social media apps off my phone. So what I use is Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, even Facebook Messenger. I got rid of all of them. And at first, my goodness, there was a resistance. I was like, fuck, how can you do that? Like, you need to be in contact with people. What if people need to message you? You're coaching. You also got a community. How's that going to work? A lot of thoughts that came in, and it's like your ego is holding on to this reality, this version that you think you need to actually uphold. You actually think you need all this stuff to survive, to thrive, to live your life, but you don't really. And this is not like a vilification of social media, because there is so much beauty in social media. There's so much for connection, for community, for collective consciousness. There's so much positivity within it. It's just the design of it is to grab your attention, to take you away from the present moment. And for me, I know what works for me. I know what takes me away. And a lot of the time it's Instagram. So it's been really refreshing to have that break, first of all. I'm just going to read a letter that I wrote on the 10th of Feb. I wrote it in this community. So it says, the last week has been a huge realization for me how much I've been feeding the mind information. I deactivated Instagram a week ago. The goals for 2 weeks, and then just add it back onto my computer. And I deleted all my social media apps off my phone besides this one, which was the school app. And I've noticed a lot. Firstly, how I wanted to listen to audiobooks, podcasts, and YouTube videos day one. Ended up feeling so overwhelmed with so much information. So that was the first day of deleting all the apps. First day, it was like a Monday, I was back at work. And I just listened to so many podcasts, audiobooks, to a point where I was just feeling completely overwhelmed. I was like, holy shit, like you free up the space, and then straight away the mind wants to consume, even if it's positive information, it's still information, and there's only so much bandwidth that you can handle. When you start to filter out all of the shit, cut it all out, and then you can create like this, the 80-20 principle. So for me, I focus on 20%, which I know is important for me because I do set goals. I have a direction that I want to head. And so I focus on no more than 3 priorities, which is myself, my family, and social media, as in my business, my community, my coaching. And all the other stuff is shit. Like 80%. Even some of the 80% is good, but it's not great. It's not where I want to go. It's not in alignment with my core values, with family, with truth, with community, with connection. And so in the moment, you might feel like you're missing out. But if you become really, really clear with who you are, then you realize that you're just wasting your time and you're distracting yourself. It's taking you down a path that is not in alignment with where you want to go. So becoming really clear about that. So the first day I was deep into the audiobooks and podcasts and YouTube videos, and I was like, holy shit. Secondly, day 2, I found myself refreshing my emails app over and over. Crazy. I was searching for some sort of connection and the mind wanted to be fed. So when there's no apps on your phone, where are you going to go now? The emails, which I hardly ever check generally because there's not much going on in the emails, to be honest. I don't do any newsletters, email marketing. There's really no need to check it more than twice a day or once a day or even once every couple of days. There really is no need. I haven't received an SOS from I was going to say the government, let's say something cooler, from, I don't know, even my wife or from something important, saying that there's a massive national state of emergency. You need to go, you need to evacuate your house or whatever. Like, that's not going to come through an email. Every time something's really important, it'll find its way to me. By the way, also I run my phone on Do Not Disturb. So the input coming in, there's only a few people that I have on my favorites that if they do call me, message me, I will receive it. Otherwise, I don't see the messages or the calls. So I'm controlling what's coming into my awareness, right? It's very important if you choose this path anyways. So the results so far are incredibly vivid dreams. Witnessing a lot of the programming throughout the day, witnessing the righteousness while eating lunch and observing the other co-workers on their phones like, hey, it's here now, are you? So just the other side of the spiritual side, right? So you start to become aware of all the thoughts and things, but then there's also I'm getting really good at becoming aware of the thoughts and things, like a positive side of the ego of like, yeah, you're doing a good job. Yeah, you're really spiritual. Oh, look at you go. You're doing it. Keep going. There's that too, which can be missed. So I'll continue on. I've realized how much I don't actually need to be online. But the mind constantly tells me, you need to connect for business. That's important, but it's so obvious now how much I was actually connecting and how much I was actually just feeding the ego. I'll share also, I think it was day 4 or 5. I remember I was at work and I didn't have any lunch, and so I decided to go to a little place for lunch and have a coffee and a bacon and egg burger. And I remember just not being on my phone during that experience, just sitting there eating the bacon and egg burger and drinking the coffee. And I was completely in that moment. There was nowhere else I needed to be. I didn't need to distract myself. I think that's a big one for us, eating food and just doing 2 things at once, or doing something to get you to the next place, like multitasking, stuff like that. And that's huge as well. We're never here. We're always trying to get to that next moment, and when we arrive at that next moment, we're always thinking about the next thing. We're never fully here, right? And that's one of the biggest realizations I had, was like, holy shit, how often am I trying to take myself away? And this is someone who does a little bit of self-work every day, is distracting himself. And so it's been a huge shift. I wasn't going into this experience thinking about deactivating Instagram for a month. I was going in, and I feel this is the best thing in every experience. It's like going in without any expectation, but you find yourself just getting exactly what you need, but not needing anything, just receiving exactly what was necessary for you. And sometimes it does take a moment of just disconnecting from outside of you. And I've now become very aware of the way that I feel interacting. It's like now I'm coming back out into the fold. Like I'm not interested in disconnecting myself from life completely, entirely. I'm not going to go up to be a monk in the Himalayas and meditate, although there's part of me that would love that. I do have responsibilities. I am a husband, a father of 3 beautiful girls, and I'm here for it. I love that too. And I love connecting, coaching, building a community. So all of that still is playing out, right? But I've realized coming back in to the fold, like, just introducing TikTok, doing heaps of videos that are directly related to podcasts, putting that out there, and then just witnessing the attachment of like, oh, refreshing, or I wonder if any comments or things like that. Okay, got to delete it again, or going through that whole dance. But receiving messages from friends, and if it's like one after the other, boom, 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 heaps of messages, I'm like, I just can't handle that shit anymore. As in, like, I'm not here for that anymore, like, whereas before I would be easily susceptible to other people's energy and just go along with the dance. Like, I would do that, whatever I was doing, I'd just be free to be with them and to do that dance. But now I'm just in alignment with who I am. I really know who I am, and it's a constant remembering, and it's a constant work. It's a constant practice. It's a journey. But the more and more that you sit with yourself, the more you get clear on who you are, your values, what you want to do, focusing on the 3 priorities, no more than 3. If you have more than 3 priorities, you have none. And just filtering out all the bullshit, what distracts you. It could be porn. For me, it's social media, Instagram, the scrolling, and just really giving yourself that space. And throughout that experience, like, I've been doing things in the background. I've been setting up some things that are going to be eventuating, going to happen. But you can't do that deep work unless you allow that space for that to occur. Otherwise, you're going to constantly be distracted by what is the next shiny object in front of you. This is how I feel. This is like I'm expressing my life right now. You're just going to constantly distract yourself unless you're crystal clear with who you are, where you want to be, what takes you out of the present moment, and how to limit that, how to cultivate a life that allows for flow. So that's my little TED talk. Thanks for listening. Maybe a good point of reference would be to ask yourself, what takes you out of the present moment? What distracts you? How would you like to change your life? How would you like to be more present, be more mindful? Maybe it's Instagram for you, or it could be Facebook, it could be TikTok, could be whatever, it could be scrolling YouTube, watching news. Everyone has their own path. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to point to what I've done, and perhaps that could shine a light on your life. So there you go, 1 month off Instagram. May this be a recurring thing. Who knows how I'm going to implement using it in the future. Perhaps I could have Instagram on my computer, not on the phone, but we shall see, because it's pretty cool to have it on the phone for videos. But that could also be a thought that could drag me back down the old train. So I know that having that space from it is going to allow me to witness a lot clearer when I'm being dragged into it. And I don't have an intention to fall back into what was. I have an intention now to be crystal clear with who I am and where I'm going, and follow that, and be human, be the best I can, and show up the best that I can for myself, for my wife, for my kids, and for the world, and for you too. Be real. Ask yourself those questions. What takes you out of the moment? And have fun. Don't forget to have fun. We're not here forever. We're not here forever.